This is Around the House with Nicole McGuire.
Nicole McGuire showing us around this afternoon. We're in a new home being built by McGuire Homes just outside Tolono, right? A bit about that coming up. But first, I want to talk about the inspiration because this is a new segment. It's really exciting.
Yes, it's Around the House with Nicole McGuire, and I really want to focus not necessarily on new construction, but showing some of the components in new construction that everybody can use in their home. Whether they have a low budget, mid-range budget, or a high-end budget, we can show key pieces that can be used to update and keep your home fresh.
And what's really cool about this, too, is that you're doing some CI Living segments, but you're working with the morning show, and you're doing a lot of social media. So there's lots of this stuff out there.
Right. Lots of information out there, a lot about new construction, a lot about entrepreneurship, and a lot about just design tips in general.
I love it. So let's get to our first one. People need to reconsider wood, but a different kind of wood.
Absolutely. One key way to update your home is to use a faux wood product. So this is very in right now with modern farmhouse look. This is a product that you can purchase. It's called Fipon, and it's actually made out of styrofoam, but it looks like wood. And we are using it in this house through all of the beams in the house to mimic a timber framed home. But this is an inexpensive way to capture that look.
I mean, you wouldn't think that you need to consider whether it has endurance or not, but obviously because it's going to be up high, right? I mean, even though it's styrofoam, it's still strong. It's
definitely strong, but one of the key points is it's lightweight. So you don't have to have extra blocking in your home. You can actually attach it to what's already there existing if you're doing a remodel or if you're just updating an existing room.
I love that idea, and obviously they're using real wood too, so you can see the actual blocks here. But what a great idea to not have to get some huge summer beam that you're going to have to need 8 people to lift that up there.
It's not extremely heavy. Again, it's lightweight.
I love that. Unlike old farmhouses in the old days, they did not have a lot of windows. Now, that's a huge trend, and you guys are kind of showing that off in what we've got behind us here.
Right, and that's another area that I encourage all of our clients to spend the money. Always buy the bigger windows because it lets in the natural light. We can achieve false light with great light fixtures as well, but spend the money on the larger windows.
And there's something about connecting with the outside that people like, right?
Absolutely. So it brings the outside in, and then in a little bit we're going to talk about taking the inside out and making that a continuation of your living space.
The best part, though, is when it's warm in the summer, you can still be inside in the air conditioning,
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
And benefit from seeing all of the green and beautiful flowers.
Exactly, exactly. Let's talk about those light fixtures. I grew up in the era where everything was like this bright brass, like it's totally 80s. Yep. That's out, and you can do a lot of cool things with unique fixtures.
Absolutely, and I encourage most of our clients to mix the metals. So yes, brass was out. Surprisingly, brass is coming back in. It's just a little bit of a different look. So I encourage all of our clients to find a light fixture that really touches them and use that as a focal point for the room. So we're seeing a lot of black finishes, and we're seeing winter gold. So it's just a different take on the old brass fixtures, but it brings that warmth back into a home because we've been using a lot of grays consistently over the past 5 years, and the gold helps bring some warmth back into the home.
I love that idea. The other thing that I think is so important now is that we spend time in our homes. They're kind of our refuge from the world in so many ways. And so you talk about both in new construction and for people in the homes that they own right now, how to use that space, how to expand your livable space.
Right, and you want to take the main living area that you're living in. A lot of times for most families that's the kitchen or the family room, and then we put the staircase going to the basement because there are so many families that want to live in the basement, but it's a continuation of the living space instead of closing it off. And then also immediate access to the outdoors, so it is again back and forth, a continuation of living space, bringing that outside in and taking the inside out.
And we're in a home that's being constructed right now, so as we say, pardon our dust, but you can see just how open this space is, right?
Absolutely.
And one thing I want to point out is that this staircase, look how open it is because you've got a shelf for displaying things right there. I mean, this is actually, I feel like, incorporated into the room, not some like nook or cranny around the side that you go down into the basement.
Right, it's a part of the main living space. And as much as we want it open, so there's free free flow, we want to designate different spaces as well. So the faux beams that designate between the kitchen and the great room, that helps provide just a small barrier to the overall feeling. We're changing spaces, but it doesn't close it off.
Yeah, so you can be over there and you can be over here and everyone can still be together, which is the cool thing.
Yes.
The other thing that we need to talk about is how you can share your space both indoors and outdoors and make it all one great place that you can utilize. So we're going to step outside and take a look.